Northwest frontier. It was the farthest flung part of British-controlled India. In 1897, tribesmen who had been paid by the British to safeguard the Khyber Pass revolted. Among the troops sent in to quell the uprising was a regiment from Dorset. And this week, the 23 soldiers who died in the action have been remembered at a service in Dorchester. Rob Powell takes up the story.
For this is the forbidding highway, holding the strategic key between
the Khyber Pass in the 1960s, vital for trade and vital for the military. No surprise, therefore, that around 65 years earlier, the British Indian government had been paying local tribespeople, the Afridis, to safeguard the route. But in 1897, the tribes rebelled. The British sent in around 36,000 men to quell the uprising, and among them were the 1st Dorsetshire Regiment.
Where the British were fighting Afrida and Pathan tribesmen.
23 soldiers from the Dorsets lost their lives in the action, known as the Tara Campaign. And this week, in the regiment's hometown of Dorchester, they were remembered.
Well, it is important, of course, to remember anybody who gives their life for freedom, for democracy, and our way of life today, of course.
For a group of soldiers hailing from the Dorset countryside, this conflict couldn't have been any more foreign.
There was quite a lot of close-quarter weapons with the tribesmen using their daggers, which they were pretty adept, and of course our soldiers using their bayonets as well as firing their rifles.
Samuel Vickery was one of the survivors of Tara. Just 24 at the time, he was awarded the Victoria Cross for rescuing a wounded comrade while under fire and killing 3 enemy tribespeople after he'd been separated from his company.
Vickery, as he then was, shot one and eventually bayoneted another. He'd lost his rifle, and the 3rd one who attacked him, he was killed by Vickery throwing a boulder at him and then subsequently bayoneting him.
Vickery was evidently a survivor. He went on to serve in the Boer War, where he was captured but escaped, and in World War I, which he also survived. But as the last post sounded out in Dorset this week, what mattered was the 23 lads who found themselves in faraway surroundings and never came home. Rob Powell, BBC South Today.